Yeah. So like Fox Farms though, like I noticed like, so if you're going to plant a plant in some Fox Farms ocean forest, per se, you plant a plant in there and you veg it out for like 2 months and you get that plant monstrous and you're ready to flip it into flower. Now you have to add amendments to there because there's nothing left in it.
Back up just a little bit. When you say you planted it for a couple months and it took off monstrous, do you know what's in that mix that makes that plant grow?
Synthetic salts.
It's pretty much what it is, but it's ammonium nitrate. So they spray this ammonium nitrate on sawdust, and that ammonium nitrate is like, it's like acid on a fucking slug. So think of the organic and biology that's in there. It's killing. They put that on there. You can throw a pile of that. It's called nitralized sawdust is what the industry calls it, as an amendment to mix it, and that's what they buy. Roots Organic, a bunch of them do that as an amendment, and that's their nitrogen pack. And then they tell you they put a bunch of guanos and they do other stuff. They don't put shit on it. That's what it is, and that's the reason, the difference between a good quality soil and them. And you just explained it, as it shot up and it grew some veg and it did really well. But the thing it's missing is that now, like if you grew in my soil or some good soil, probably my soil, but the difference between mine, Jackson, and Fox Farm and all the case studies, Fox Farm with ammonium nitrate in the soil, that plant will shoot up really quick. It grows quick, and it's for tomato plants. Just call it tomatoes, tomato. But the same thing with any other cultivar. Is it shoots up really quick and it puts off a few tomatoes, and the wind comes and that plant has no structure and it falls over and it's lanky, right? Yes. My soil versus the same tomato plant, you got a fucking heavy stalk, you got this plant that just fucking sits up and does its thing and it's putting off tomatoes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the difference. And why does mine do that? Because I have a living soil concept behind it. I want you to grow with bacteria. I want you to grow with fungi. I want you to do everything that is healthy in that plant. The last thing you want to do is feed ammonium nitrates in a tomato to your kids at the dinner table. If you once you know kind of, you know. So.
Of course, once you know, you know. Shout out to Hard Desert Exotic. You know, they level 2 Buy Me a Coffee members. Appreciate that.
So, Pennsylvania looks like it's on the fast track to legalization of herb, but the model is being approved and will put the government in full control of the plant. And according to the polls, that's not what the people want.
Negotiations over Pennsylvania's state budget are ongoing. Governor Josh Shapiro wants legalization to be a part of it. So do some lawmakers from both sides of the political aisle. Our Mackenzie Jarrell joins us live with more on the efforts to legalize recreational in Pennsylvania. Mackenzie.
Mallory, this is a divided subject. Some are for legalization where others are not. I spoke with a state representative behind a bipartisan bill that would make adult use cannabis legal if signed into law.
Everybody is recognizing that legalizing is not an if question anymore, it's a when and a how.
That's what Democratic State Representative Emily Kincaid says. She, alongside Republican State Rep Abby Major, proposed legislation that would legalize adult use.
So it's largely similar to the bill that I introduced last session with Representative Coffe, but it includes some updates from stakeholders.
This new legislation aims to establish a regulated market in PA while prioritizing public safety, public health.
And we are seeing more and more drugs on the illicit market, not just cannabis or not just opioids, that are laced with fentanyl and other drugs that are not what people think that they are buying. So legalizing cannabis allows us the ability to tell people what it is that they are buying and that they can rely on that.
And potentially boost the economy.
We need more revenue streams. This legalization could create upwards of 30,000 jobs and good, family sustaining jobs.
While some support this,
I don't see a problem with it. I think people are doing it anyway, and hell, it's already legal to a certain extent if you have a marijuana card and things like that. So I mean, might as well make it legal all the way around. I don't.
Others, not so much.
Definitely on the fence. I think my views over the past year have changed about substance use.